What's up, Cowboys Nation? You know we bring you all the latest and greatest news when it comes to America's team, and today, we've got a bombshell trade to talk about. The Dallas Cowboys have just made a move that could shake up the QB situation and the future of the team moving forward. That's right, the Cowboys have acquired Joe Milton, the quarterback from the New England Patriots, in exchange for a 5th-round pick in the upcoming draft. This is huge, and it's going to have a major impact on both the Patriots and the Cowboys. But what does this mean for the Cowboys' Super Bowl aspirations and the future of Dak Prescott? Let's break it all down. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video, because we've got some insider info, trade analysis, and a look at how Milton's game could change the Cowboys' offense. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss a big update on everything Cowboys. Let's get into it. First, let's take a look at who Joe Milton is and why the Cowboys decided to pull the trigger on this trade. Milton, standing at 6'6" and weighing around 240 pounds, has always been an imposing figure on the football field. With an absolute cannon of an arm, he's made a name for himself as a quarterback with rare physical attributes. His size alone sets him apart from most quarterbacks in the league, and it's clear that the Patriots saw something special in him when they drafted him in the 4th round of the 2023 NFL Draft. However, despite his obvious potential, Milton has struggled with consistency, especially when it comes to his decision-making and overall accuracy. His time in New England was marked by flashes of brilliance, but also moments of inconsistency. Nonetheless, his raw talent has always been something to be excited about, and it's easy to see why the Cowboys would take a gamble on him. But let's dive deeper into the reasoning behind this move from the Cowboys' perspective. The Dallas Cowboys, under the leadership of head coach Mike McCarthy and owner Jerry Jones, have always been known for taking calculated risks and making bold moves. And when you look at the current state of the Cowboys' quarterback room, it becomes clear why adding a young quarterback with high upside like Milton could be a smart play. Of course, Dak Prescott is the unquestioned starter for the Cowboys, and he is undoubtedly the leader of the team. Prescott is coming off a solid season in which he put up impressive numbers and led the Cowboys to the playoffs once again. He's a seasoned veteran with a strong arm, excellent mobility, and a leadership presence that is hard to match. However, the Cowboys have never been one to rest on their laurels, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. While Prescott is in the prime of his career, NFL teams have learned the hard way that having a solid backup quarterback is just as important as having a reliable starter. The Cowboys, in particular, have been in a somewhat precarious situation in terms of their quarterback depth. In 2022, backup quarterback Cooper Rush filled in admirably for Prescott when he was injured, and the Cowboys were able to continue winning games. Rush showed that he could be a competent backup, but it's clear that the Cowboys wanted to add more talent to their quarterback room. With the addition of Joe Milton, the Cowboys now have a quarterback who can not only provide solid depth behind Prescott but also has the potential to develop into a legitimate starter in the future. This trade is not about replacing Dak Prescott anytime soon, but rather about future-proofing the position. Milton, who is still relatively young and has room to grow, could eventually evolve into a franchise quarterback under the right coaching. And that's where the Cowboys' coaching staff comes into play. Mike McCarthy has a long track record of working with quarterbacks, and he has shown an ability to develop young players and bring out the best in them. Remember, McCarthy helped develop Aaron Rodgers into one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time during their time together in Green Bay. With that kind of coaching pedigree, the Cowboys believe that Milton's physical tools can be harnessed and refined into a more consistent and effective skill set. One of the most intriguing aspects of Joe Milton's game is his arm strength. There aren't many quarterbacks in the NFL who can match his raw power when it comes to throwing the football down the field. Milton has routinely been able to sling the ball 60, 70, or even 80 yards with ease. His ability to make those deep throws is a rare talent, and it's one that could fit well into the Cowboys' offensive system, which has a lot of vertical passing concepts. However, there are limitations to his game, especially when it comes to his accuracy. Milton has often struggled with consistency, particularly on shorter throws, where he tends to overthrow or underthrow his receivers. But again, this is something that can be worked on with the right coaching and development. It's worth noting that not every quarterback in the league is expected to come in with perfect mechanics and decision-making right out of the gate, and it's not unusual for teams to take a developmental approach with quarterbacks who have raw talent. So, while Joe Milton's inconsistency might raise some eyebrows, the Cowboys are betting on his potential. If they can get him to fine-tune his mechanics and decision-making, he could be a special player. And even if he doesn't become the next starting quarterback for the Cowboys, having a young, talented backup with a high ceiling is a valuable asset. Looking ahead, what does this move mean for Dak Prescott's future in Dallas? Prescott is still the unquestioned starter for the Cowboys, and he's the franchise quarterback. There's no doubt about that, but the reality is that NFL careers are unpredictable. Injuries, performance dips, and changes in team dynamics can all impact a quarterback's standing on the depth chart. Having a player like Joe Milton in the system provides the Cowboys with a sense of security in case things don't go according to plan with Prescott in the future. This trade is a bit of a hedge, a way for the Cowboys to ensure that they have a quarterback who can step in if needed, but also a player who has the potential to develop into something more. From a financial standpoint, the Cowboys' move also makes sense. Joe Milton is on a relatively affordable rookie contract, which gives the Cowboys flexibility in terms of their salary cap. If Milton can prove himself as a valuable backup or even a future starter, the Cowboys will have a cost-effective quarterback option for the next few years. On the other hand, if things don't work out with Milton, they've only given up a 5th-round pick, which is a small price to pay for a player with his potential. When you look at the Cowboys' overall team strategy, this trade aligns with their broader goal of building a team that can compete for championships in the present while also setting themselves up for the future. With a roster that is stacked with talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys are positioning themselves as serious Super Bowl contenders in the coming years. Adding a quarterback with the potential to grow and contribute, even if it's just as a backup for now, makes sense for a team that is looking to maximize its window of opportunity. The bottom line is that Joe Milton's arrival in Dallas is a low-risk, high-reward move for the Cowboys. If Milton develops into the player the team hopes he can be, he could turn out to be a key piece of their future. And if he doesn't, the Cowboys won't have invested too much in the move. The Cowboys have built one of the most complete rosters in the NFL, and this trade is just another piece of the puzzle as they continue to chase that elusive Super Bowl victory. Ultimately, this trade shows that the Cowboys are thinking about the long-term future of the quarterback position, while also recognizing that the present is equally important. With Dak Prescott firmly in control of the starting job, Joe Milton provides an intriguing backup option and potentially a future starter. It's a calculated move that could pay off in the long run, and only time will tell how it all plays out. For now, Cowboys fans can get excited about the possibilities, as the team continues to build toward a championship contender for years to come.